Hey, my name is Abdul Ilah. This is Brain Kun, back at you with another bad review. Today's video, I have the Galaxy S20 FE. Now you might say, the fuck? That's an old fucking phone. Well, yeah, this video is about how good this phone is after 2 years of use. And should you buy one if you don't have the means to buy the latest and greatest smartphones? So if you're interested in today's video, let's hop into it, you fucking dickhead. If you're not, hey, that's your problem. You're the one missing out on this great technology. So let's get into it. In today's video, we are going to be looking at everything that makes this phone worthy of your money, worth your money basically. I'm going to try to convince you, not just convince you, I'm going to prove to you that this phone is still great after 2 years of use, and maybe consider buying one if you don't have the means to buy a brand new phone. Of course, I'm going to be comparing it. First of all, let's talk about looks. This phone is great. This phone is basically an S20, but dialed down a little bit. This one is the Snapdragon version, which means that this one is 5G operated. It's better than the regular 4G version because this one is optimized for maybe gaming and better chip, better performance. It's a Super AMOLED HDR10 plus 120 Hz refresh rate screen. You can dial it down to 60 Hz, but who wants that? We all want a 120 Hz display. Amazing display with the fingerprint sensor underneath the display. So all you have to do is place your fingers underneath the display and voila, it opens. It's better than the previous versions where they have the fingerprint sensor on the back of the phone. Sometimes you confuse it with the fucking camera and you press on the camera and you have fingerprints all over your camera, like the previous Galaxy S9, not S10. S10 was on this under the display. But yeah, the previous Galaxy S9s and 8s and all of them versions. That's an upgrade. That's a better thing. That's a good thing. Now, talking about the build, this phone feels and looks very solid with the aluminum bezels. If it falls, it's not going to take as much scratches. The plastic bag. Now, the S20 and the S20 Plus, the S20 Ultra have a glass back. That's amazing. Aesthetically, that's amazing. But for me personally, I much prefer this look over the glass because the glass back gets fingerprints on it and then it looks dirty and shit. But this one does not pick that up as much because it's plastic. It's solid. It feels more solid. You don't have to be worried about it and hiding it under cases and all of that shit. I have a clear case. This shit protects my phone, yeah, but I can also have it just like this naked. I can also have it naked and not be worried about it. If it falls, the back glass is going to break and I have to replace it. So that's a great feature about it. Now let's talk about the inside component. What are you looking for in a phone? The things we look for mostly in a phone are: one, is it fast? Is it good? Is it reliable? Now let's get into that. Let's talk about that. This phone, is it fast? I'm gonna let you be the judge of that. So now I have it closed. As you can see, I'm going to put my fingerprints on it. Fast response. The display 120 Hertz. Fast response. Any app I want to go into, social media, Facebook, fast response. Doesn't take any time. Instagram, fast response. Let me go on TikTok. Fast response. Instantly, YouTube instantly goes into the apps you're looking for. You don't have to wait for it. It doesn't lag. It's not going to lag behind. It's not going to, when you press on Instagram, for example, when you want to go on Instagram, it's not going to be like, let me wait a second. Yeah, now I want to open it. Nah, it's not going to do that. It's going to instantly open the app you're looking for. And that's a responsive phone. Also, when you talk about reliability, we talk about battery life. Now this phone has 4,500 milliamps of power. It can be reliable. You can count on it to not die off on you in the middle of the day. When you plug it to charge, it's not going to take a long time. Of course, It's Samsung. It's Samsung. It's going to take, if from 0 to 100%, it's going to take an hour 20 minutes. But if you need it to fill up to like 50%, that's gonna be like 40 minutes. If the phone is at 50%, you plug it for 40 minutes before you go out. You plug it. Once you go out, you get yourself ready. Once you're ready to go out, your phone is completely charged. And once it's completely charged, you don't have to worry about it, the battery dying off on you in the middle. Maybe you're going out to fucking party, have some drinks with your fucking friends. You know, you want to have some fun. You want to use the camera. Plus, when you talk about battery life, I've been putting this phone through some fucking rigorous shit. I've been playing games with it, taking videos with it. When I go out, you know, sometimes you get bored. You have nothing to do. You have nothing to do, so you play games on it. I played games on it. It doesn't go, the battery doesn't go up by much. I'm telling you, after fucking 30 minutes of playing games, I'm down by 10%. That's great, that's amazing, that's great battery efficiency. I want to take videos, I can do that. It doesn't overheat on me. Once it overheats, I know that, yo, I've been drawing too much battery out of this, and for my safety, it's overheating, so I stop doing that shit so the battery does not explode on me. That's for safety reasons. If your phone overheats, it's for safety reasons. You've been using it way too much. Stop whatever you're doing. General information. Second thing I want to talk about, of course, mentioning camera and taking videos and going out. Second thing I want to talk about, of course, is the camera. I'm a millennial. I want to take photos. I want to take videos. And let me show you how great this phone is. You got a 12 megapixel wide and ultra wide lens, and you got an 8 megapixel telephoto, 3x optical zoom. Now the optical zoom is not as great as you wish for. It's good. It's good. It goes up until 30 times optical zoom, but you know, 30 times is a bit extreme unless you want to catch something on the fucking moon. Yeah. But all you need is the 12 megapixel main camera, main sensor. This is you guys. I'm going to take a photo of you guys over here. Now, this is the back camera. This is a photo from the back camera. Okay, let's take a face photo. Look at it. I look amazing, bitch. I never looked this amazing in my entire fucking life. Now, back camera, as I said, 12 megapixel wide and a 12 megapixel ultra wide, which is also great at capturing details. Take a photo of this. Take a photo of me. These are two amazing photos. Now the 3x optical zoom. Here it is. This is y'all. Woo. Y'all look great. Y'all look amazing. Look at this. Yeah. Now, the front camera, the selfie camera is also great. You got a 32 megapixel wide camera. Wide selfie camera. Who needs 32 megapixels? If you ain't beautiful, this camera is gonna make you look beautiful. Watch this. You see my face? I'm not the most handsome person alive, but watch this. Tell me why I look so good in that photo. I don't deserve this. I do not deserve this. I do not deserve to get this beautiful. But yeah, 32 megapixels on the front camera. Now let's talk video. On the back camera, using the main lens, you got On top of all of that, I have the plus features, which are the Pro for taking photos, Pro features, the panoramic view, food. If you're going out to eat with your friends and you want to take food photos, you have that option. You have night mode, you have portrait, you have video portrait mode, you have video pro. So that means you can adjust the settings on your videos, the aperture, you can adjust the aperture and all of that shit. You got super slow motion, you got regular slow motion, you have hyper lapse. Great features, amazing. Now, done with the camera. Third thing you want to talk about is pricing. Of course, this phone is 2 years old. It's not going to be. When it came out, it wasn't that expensive. Now, 2 years after, with two phones after that, two great phones after that, this is not going to be the most expensive phone. You can find it on Amazon at the price of 395 bucks. Let's say 400 bucks. 400 bucks for this phone? Amazing. Of course, the price is going to drop. Obviously, the fuck? I'm not gonna buy a 2-year-old phone for the same price that it came out at, of course. Now, you have two versions of this phone. Three versions of this phone. You got the 128 gigabytes at 6 gigabytes of RAM at 400 bucks. You got the 128 gigabytes at 8 gigabytes of RAM at 500 bucks. And you have the 256 at 8 gigabytes of RAM at 600 bucks. Huge amounts of storage, big ass RAM. You can play whatever you want to play with it. Huge fucking chip inside of it, the Snapdragon 850, 865, Android 12. You can buy, if you buy it today, you buy it with the Android 12. It came out with the Android 10, upgradable to Android 12, of course. Of course you have the latest fucking updates. Android 12 is amazing, we've seen it. Now the Android 13 is coming out. The iOS 16 coming out too. So, yeah, of course, yeah, the Android 13 is going to be on the latest versions of the S22 Ultra, the S21, maybe the S22 Ultra, the S21 and the S22, and maybe the S23 next year. So yeah, so we talked about reliability, we talked about camera, we talked about pricing. Now, let's talk about, is it actually good? Let's compare it to different brands, different phones at the same price. Now, when you talk about different brands at the same price, you can go to Huawei, you can go to Xiaomi, you can go to Oppo, you can go to all of these brands for 500 bucks. You can find great phones from great competitors out there. Of course, let me pull up some examples. For example, you can buy the Realme GT2, you can buy the Oppo Reno 6, you can buy the Xiaomi Redmi K50, Xiaomi 11T Pro, OnePlus Nord 2. You can buy all of these great phones, but the best one of these phones is this one. You can buy this one at that price and you won't regret it, because those phones are great. Those phones are fucking great. When you buy them, they are great. But after 2 years of use, they will not even compare the 2 years of use on this one. And this one probably still has 3 to 4 years of use. Would I recommend it? Would I be using it if I wasn't going to recommend it to you? What are you, dumb? Of course I would. Shit. Nah, I'm joking. Would I recommend this phone? Of course. In all seriousness, I would. Of course, if you want to buy on Apple, you can go ahead and buy on the 11 Pro Max. The iPhone 11 Pro Max is cheap by then. At this point, well, what is it worth? Like 600, 700 bucks for the 11 Pro Max. You can go ahead and buy him that. If you're looking for an iPhone, for an iOS device. If you're looking for an Android device, this one is your best friend. So, hope you enjoyed. I hope you liked it. Tell me your opinions down below. Which phone do you think is better than this phone at this price range? 400 bucks. Tell me down in the comments down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on my next one. Peace.